Hello everyone. Every morning I wake up with a new agenda. And I think about when I do wake up that morning was not promised to me. Yesterday was, because yesterday has come and gone. Today is a new day. I try to come up with new agendas, new things to do, new things to try to get through my life from day to day. There are old things that I think about when I have conversations from people from time to time. And I'm speaking about the mind this time, how the mind functions, how the mind don't function at times, and how it hinders you in your life. What I'm talking about is that a lot of us is getting older. And not only do we have the blindness, the vision problems that hinder us from doing things, we have that disease called Alzheimer's. And I also think about dementia. But I think about how I try to make my mind function, how to get through my life from day to day, how I try to remember things. Because I've seen some very bad things in my life, come in contact with some bad things in my life with people that can't remember things, or dementia has taken them to a place. And them having a vision problem is kind of disappointing. So what I try to do in my life with things of that nature, because I truthfully can say that from time to time that I have a tendency to forget certain things. This is a reality. It's not a joke. Like I stated before on most of my videos, I don't talk about things that I don't know about. I talk about things that happens to me. But the other reason why I forget things sometimes is because I don't see something every day like other people see them with vision. When you look at a screwdriver every day, a flat-headed screwdriver, you see that flat-headed screwdriver every day. You may see a star wrench tool every day. Because I haven't seen in almost 9 years, I may forget one of those items from time to time and can't call the technical name of it. So I would just ask for a screwdriver. And I know what I mean, but it just does not come out right. So what I have a tendency of doing is that I have a tendency of remembering numbers, trying to keep my vocabulary up. I listen to different books. I listen to different music, things that keeps my mind active. Not the same old thing. If you keep doing the same old thing day after day after day, your mind will do the same thing day after day after day. You will get up in the morning, you will eat your breakfast, drink your coffee, and sit down. That's the far as you go. You won't try to think about things. You won't try to work with your hands or do something that's going to motivate you. I look up words on my iPhone and learn the definitions. I think of words that I possibly can ask Siri what to look up and get all the definitions and keep my mind working that way. I also work with numbers. I multiply, I divide, I add, subtract, all in my head. I don't use computers or adding machines. Most of the times I do all of that in my head. I also was talking to a guy one time and he said, "Rosey, I have a problem sometimes trying to remember, and I know this. So what I have learned to do is to count to 100 forward, and then I will count backwards from 100 to 1. And he said that stimulates my mind. That probably is a good way of doing things or looking at things that way. And you might want to try that. Everybody don't do things the same way. But I'm talking to us older people that's having these problems, especially the ones that is totally blind, that we need to try to do something to motivate our mind, to stimulate it, to keep it working, because an idle mind will be put to waste. I know that for a fact. And when we start having a problem with our mind, we need to tell our care worker, our spouses, our children, our grandchildren, our doctors, or someone that we're having somewhat of a problem, so they'll be aware of what we're dealing with at that particular time. Because you have to be concerned that if you don't tell them, you may get to a place and don't realize where you're at, and you don't know how to get home. I don't want that to happen to you, because I know it happened one day to someone, and that was not good. And when you try to go all over the neighborhood looking for that person and you can't find that person, and they're just sitting and they say, well, I'm just lost. You know, your heart just leaves you. And we can't allow that to happen to one another. That's why we need to look out for one another as well. I talk about serious things because we need to be serious about our life. Life is serious, but we can't have it so serious to where we take it for granted. When you take something for granted, it's not always going to be there, and we don't realize that, and we think it is there every day of our life. Eventually, one day it disappears, and so will we. So what I'm saying is, let's try to live our life to the fullest. Look after one another. Keep your mind fresh, and try to work with your mind in a way that you can relate to the world, that you can get through the world. If you can't do that, get yourself a recorder and start recording things that you think that you're going to forget, so you have it on tape, so it can be played back at any given time, and you'll be okay. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time today. I'm going to go ahead on and stop here. And as I always end my videos, keep the faith in God, trust in yourself, keep your heart and your mind right, and you'll get there. See you later.